Hi, YouTube. It's Angela. We're going to do our weekly soul guidance energy update. And this week, we're focused on like conflict and hostility that might be in your experience in a given situation. I get the feeling that this is either, like some of us have some big conflict and contrast situations going on that we feel stuck in, or we don't really have that going on right now, but then this will come in handy at a time when you do feel it and you can relate. We've all had situations where we've just felt so stuck, with another's resistance impeding our progress, or we can't resolve something between you and another. So let's get started. The decks I'm using are the Zen Tarot deck and also this Priestess of Light Oracle that I got as a birthday gift last month from my dear friend Maria, who you see on the channel in those other videos that we do. So our first card is hostilities. This priestess is sort of, holding her hands up to the light. She's got herself centered and gathered and grounded, but she's also has the panther there protecting her, warding off anyone that's going to try to cross her or kind of mess with her her ability to stay centered. It may be a situation that has you feeling defensive, and it's just a reminder to return to your divine light, to gather yourself into your own power. When we're in conflict with another and it goes on too long, or it just keeps going back and forth and we get nowhere, it's disempowering. We give up power that way. And becoming aware of people who deplete your energy is going to be a big key here. And this may be a situation where you can't help it. You're in this situation with a person, it's family, or someone that you work with that you don't really feel you could just cut out of your life. But just having the awareness that this person is draining my energy, and I need to regather my own light and return to that, and sort of shore up my own power. I pulled three oracles and then 3 Zen cards to go with each one. So let me show you the Zen cards that go with this one, conflict, the conflict vibration. The first thing I pulled is suppression. You're holding down, you're holding back, your progress is impeded just by this conflict, whatever it is. Now, let me take a step back. We've talked about being in conflict with a person in your external world. For some of you, this could also be just more internal, like there's something you want to achieve, but your history or your experience is telling you not to try, or I want to do this, but I don't want to harm other people in whatever it is that you're, because if you start to move into change and respond with your own light and your own power, that might trip others up. If others are used to you sort of conceding to their needs and wishes, but it creates conflict within you, and then you start to shift that and say, well, no, this feels better for me, and you hold your own power, that person could, it could create more conflict or hostility from the other person, right? But if you're holding back on what's right for you, you're not really going to get anywhere, and you're going to end up more and more stuck energetically, so that your progress in whatever this is, if it's healing a relationship, if this is a work conflict of a project that needs to go forward, whatever, but by holding back your own light, this is where you end up, right in the dark. And then internally, and your inner energy, the result of that, because you haven't let your light out, or you haven't aligned with your own light, creates exhaustion within. Your energy gets exhausted. That's what we just said, right? Careful of the people that deplete your energy. These are a 1-2 punch, right? By not being in my full authenticity, in this situation, whatever it is, I'm depleting my own energy. It's not helping me. And then I love this because the external cards, so all these 3 cards are sort of the present state, and then inner energies, and then external energies that get created from this process. And I got understanding. So it's really kind of what I was feeling when I pulled these, is that, yeah, if we rely on our own light, we can get through anything, really. And if there still is a conflict with another, we can come to an agreement. We can find a compromise. We can find a way to see how the other is experiencing this conflict too. And if you can see beyond that, past those bars that are separating you from them, you'll realize that those bars, I don't know if you could see how they're dissolving at the top. And there's a big wide opening here in the middle, because what separates you is actually an illusion, right? You could be in conflict with someone and you're both wanting the same goal, and you're both kind of saying the same thing, but in a different approach and in a different way with a different style. That happens all the time, where, you go back and forth with someone, but, and in the end, you're saying the same thing, right? So this is an opportunity to loosen that barrier between you and the other. So that's the first level. We talked right away of this sort of situation of conflict, but how by returning to your own divine light, you're protected, right? You're protected in that way, by the panther energy, or by the universe, by the collective, as long as you're not giving it away too much, right? Exhausting your own power. And then find that way to find common ground and get yourself back on track. Okay. Then the next level that I have here is the oracle I got is touching earth, planting something new. If you see this sort of winged, this is sort of an angel, a rainbow angel of light above this person who has their hands in the earth, planting, plotting, creating, cultivating a new direction for your destiny. This is after you've come to the realization that you may be giving away your energy too much. And now it's time to, this is sort of a double meaning. It's time to ground, touching earth, but also plant new seeds, plant a new direction. I have, up until this moment, been in a heavy conflict with another, or, innerly self-conflicted about something that I want to proceed with, or, in a work environment, we're not all on the same page, whatever, but I will do my best by remaining in my own being, in the own light of my own being. I can create an understanding. I can find a way to smooth over those edges. And one way is to get grounded, plant something new, create a new way to go about this. And of course, the Zen cards that I got to go with it, we start with courage. And this is literally the seed that's planted deep into that boulder that really hasn't had any idea that, it sees the light of day, and soon that it will soon see the light of day and be able to grow into something totally new and different. So, plant something new, let it foster, let it, develop on its own, in its own way, without having to force anything, force any issue. And then internally, to support that energy of the courage of, creating the new intention, right, for this process to go forward from, I got friendliness. This is being willing and being able to coexist with another, or with another idea, or with opposing thoughts or plans in a peaceful way, right? The two trees are firmly rooted in their own being, right? This could be you and another, or you and another idea of how things should go or something. But the tree, the yellow tree is planted firmly, has yellow roots, yellow color down near its roots, and the pink is pink. Where they combine, it's orange, right? There's a compromise. There's an easy way to be able to stand in your own light and stay grounded in who you are after we get grounded here, and get along with others. There is a way, right? And for me, one of the greatest tricks you could do, or one of the one way that I do this, because I'm not always smoothly getting along with everybody or agreeing with them, but to separate and to kind of feel, okay, not in a stubborn way, but to feel your own self, your own being. That's sort of like this card. We return to our own light, and we're protected by our own alignment, and not really budging from that in a significant way, as another is standing right next to you doing the same. And it's possible. It's possible. We tend to plant an idea in our own mind that this is how this this is how this relationship should be. And it's not that way, so that means it's a failure or whatever. Instead of, I am my own being, the other is their own being. And somehow we can still live our lives and move about with enough space and enough acceptance that we're both fulfilling our needs together, right? There is a way to do that. And it starts with this grounding card. It starts with that, making sure you're aligned. And then, the combination of these two energies of the courage, planting something new and allowing it to blossom, and then, staying firmly rooted within in your energy, the external result of those two cards is abundance. So now you get to really focus on those things that are going well, right? We do have this conflict. It started out with this hostility, and I found a way by tapping into my own light, my own alignment, and what is right for me with love. It creates this abundance because I'm able to separate, what is best for me and the situation that I'm in, right? You can find a way to sort of slowly navigate to where the outcome is more of a win-win. It starts with your alignment. And then we get to the shift, right? The next level of cards is the sort of higher awareness level. This is your consciousness helping you along and moving forward from the hostilities to the wings of light, becoming something new. This is change. This is, letting your old stuck feelings fall away. We don't have to cling to those feelings of feeling stuck. We can realign and go, okay, yeah, I felt stuck, and I'm not gonna go there anymore. This is a powerful card, for your personal transitions, for your, and this figure is moving to the right, which it indicates the future. So it's forward moving change, allowing the old stuff to fall away. And after having aligned in your light and grounded with the rainbow light, assisting you, now you're moving forward in a new way, in a changed way. And if this is indeed for you a conflict situation with another, you're able to move through this and, go toward a new goal together, a new way of resolving conflict when it comes up. And then the 3 Zen cards that I pulled with this, we start with change, which, it's kind of what I just said this was, right? Change. So that's the focus of that card's energy, is the change. And in this wheel card, we know, if this card is spinning and spinning, and if we're gripping to those outer edges, which is like not being willing to shift or move or change, we're going to get dizzy and fly off. We're going to end up nowhere. But if you start to work your way toward that center, which is where your being, the light of your being resides, your alignment, staying focused and aligned among the change and chaos, which is going to be there always, you're not as spun out. It doesn't feel as dizzying for you. And, you know, you can navigate the change better from that vantage point, from that centered space. Internally, I love this because the internal and the external cards are like a flip of each other and working with each other. They're both mental energies, but I got mind on the internal and consciousness on the external. So this is definitely take that clutter and those sort of negative, defeating thoughts that are going on in your mind. Maybe it's about this conflict. Maybe it's about, yeah, I'm willing to change, but I don't know if everyone else is. So I don't even know if I should start. And I don't think it could have, you know, that kind of a really like a loop of negativity that can happen in our human brains. But shift it to that higher consciousness, shift it to a better vantage point for awareness, for really being able to navigate and move past conflict with your higher self on board. And that's sort of the apex or the outcome of this reading. And I love that because, you know, oh my goodness, as much as we try to be, you know, loving and get along with another and you know, being our highest spiritual selves, it doesn't always go that smoothly, and we are human as well, and we get into little battles of the ego sometimes. So, you know, this reading is kind of here to say that's all okay, and you can navigate your way, you know, through and around this by holding firm to what is best for you, right? What is aligned with your own love and your own light. Okay, I'm pulled a couple of bonus cards here. I'm going to pull a couple Zens. I pulled one Oracle, and now I'm going to pull a couple Zen cards. Yep, here we go. So in this process of being in our full inner light and being aligned through anything that's going on in our world and staying there, I got to be true to yourself. So yeah, that's kind of the message in a nutshell, right? Through this whole process of, you know, hostile conflict or things that aren't quite smooth, revert, come home, become more aligned with your own needs. A lot of times when we're in high conflict, it's because we're trying to fit things into everyone else's expectations. And like I said, there's a way to smooth that over and come to an understanding and find a way to make it a win-win for everyone. And then the other card I pulled is awareness. This is, you know, the veil is lifting. You're starting to see things through your own your own inner being's clarity, right? Instead of reflecting back on, if I do this or I say this or I live in this way, what are they going to think? What am I going to none of that really matters. It's really staying true to yourself and becoming more clear that the longer you do that and the more often you repeat that, the smoother things will be, the more aligned you will be. You can be in conflict with someone yet not create a lot of really horrible emotions. A conflict could just be a pause. Let's work out this kink. Let's move forward, right? Higher self on board, align with your light, and you got this. All right. Love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.